Just show me. Just show me. Like I said before, then Batman lived in Gotham City and protected Gotham City. He did. Because the comic said it. The comic said it.
There is no evidence.
I can't find Gotham City and I can't find Batman, but that doesn't matter because the book said it. Then Batman lived in Gotham City and protected.
Yeah, but I don't think you can deny it. You don't have evidence to deny it. You have evidence.
You made the claim.
Yeah, I made it.
Right. So if I say Batman lived in Gotham City and you say to me, hang on a minute, there's no Gotham City, where is it? And I say, well, the book says it.
Okay, if you denied it.
If I were to tell you, there is a story in the Quran about Moses. There is a story in the Quran about Sheba. There is a story about Solomon, okay? Does the Quran, in which it is contained, does it also tell you whether you should go out there and establish the veracity of the contents of the Quran, yes or no?
Apparently it says seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave or something like that,
I said the Quran.
Oh, is that in the
hadith?
hadith?
What does it say?
I don't know.
You don't know. No. Okay, so I understand why you thought I was a liar. But you see, the Quran the Quran actually tells us, okay, go and seek the necessary information. Okay, now here's a question. If it is telling me to seek the information to verify what is contained within the Quran, does that include the Moses story? Yes or no? Okay. Now, you see,
every story.
One second. You see, I didn't lie. Number two, it's your
good lie.
One second. I know. Let me finish. Okay. You see, the Quran actually tells us to verify things. So if I'm going to read something in the Quran, one second. If I read something in the Quran which at the moment has not been verified, then it is my duty to go and find the necessary information to verify it.
We can investigate now. Which pharaoh? Which one? What time period? I'm asking you. You claimed it.
Okay, what do you mean which pharaoh? The pharaoh we know in the history.
Yeah.
You know what the pharaoh is.
Which pharaoh? Do you know there's a king's list at Abydos? There's a king's list in Egypt, Abydos, and it shows you the kings from the beginning all the way through to the end. Which kings? There's a king's list. Which king was it? Which pharaoh was it?
Yeah, there is no names here.
Yeah, that's very convenient, isn't it? There's no names here. I don't have a name. It's not my claim. It's not my claim. I don't need a name. I'm asking you which pharaoh. You said pharaoh did it. Which one?
Okay, about 400 years ago, we know the white people, they came to our continent, right?
Yeah.
You have evidence now.
Yes. We know Cecil Rhodes. You know Cecil Rhodes went to South Africa. Yeah. We know King Leopold of Belgium went to Congo. We know names.
Oh, yeah.
We know names.
You know from the books, from the history.
Right.
You don't have evidence.
And there's also
you don't have evidence the white people have been in India or been in Africa. You don't have any evidence. What evidence? What evidence? Tell me.
Do you know what you're doing?
You have a picture.
I'll tell you what you're doing. You know you can't go anywhere with the conversation, so you're making another fallacious argument. What I'm saying to you is, if you make a claim, I'm asking you, where's the evidence for your claim? Not the book is not evidence. It's just not.
You cannot find any evidence.
I'm listening to what
He said, you need evidence, the pharaohs in the Quran, the pharaohs of the Quran, that's the evidence. They've been in
Just show me. Just show me. Like I said before, then Batman lived in Gotham City and protected Gotham City. He did. Because the comic said it. The comic said it.
There is no evidence.
I can't find Gotham City and I can't find Batman, but that doesn't matter because the book said it. Then Batman lived in Gotham City and protected.
Yeah, but I don't think you can deny it. You don't have evidence to deny it. You have evidence.
You made the claim.
Yeah, I made it.
Right. So if I say Batman lived in Gotham City and you say to me, hang on a minute, there's no Gotham City, where is it? And I say, well, the book says it.
Okay, if you denied it, tell me your evidence. What's your evidence? I told you yes.
Listen, you invalidated your evidence.
Okay.
You did it by not being able to back it up. You don't need me to invalidate your evidence. You invalidated it yourself by making a claim that you couldn't back.
I want you to give me evidence. I'm telling a lie.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. No, just comprehend what I'm saying. If you make a claim that you can't back up, you invalidate yourself. You don't. I don't need to invalidate you. You invalidated yourself.
Do you believe in Adam and Eve?
Why are you changing it?
I'm not changing.
No, but why are you changing the subject?
I'm giving you an example.
changing the subject?
Do you believe there is the fairest man on the world?
I'm asking you.
Do you believe that?
Why are you changing the
You have
subject?
evidence. Huh?
Why are you changing the
I'm
subject?
giving you the same way.
Because you lost the argument.
No. I'm giving you the same example.
Gentlemen can't provide evidence doesn't mean to suggest that the truth no longer ceases from being the truth. Because he can't find evidence to support
In a
his
court of
claim.
law, can you do
No,
that?
that's different.
No, I'm asking. In a court of law, can you do that? Exactly. So this is your case is your own mental court of law. You are judge and jury because you make up what makes sense to you. You decide what makes sense to you. So in your mental court of law, it doesn't make sense, does it?
Agreed. But doesn't mean it ceases from being true.
No.
I didn't hear the whole
Then what is
conversation.
true?
That's my point. I didn't hear the whole
Truth seems subjective based on whether you can find something or you can't find something. That's what it seems like to me. So then what is true?
He said that the Shabir, he said the Quran is not an evidence for any story, for anything, not evidence.
Unbelievable.
He said that.
Yeah, that's his opinion.
Yeah, that's his opinion.
That's
Can
a
you-
fact.
Can you answer?
A book is not evidence for something happening, is it?
Okay, let's look at it that way. If a book is not evidence of something, yeah? You just mentioned about the court of law. Is the court of law subject to rules?
Right. Yes.
Is that in a book? Should we
It didn't start in a book form.
should we outright? What was that you just said?
It didn't start off in a book
It
form.
didn't start off in a
Started
book.
off in the head.
It started off something there, yeah? The question that needs to be asked, yeah? As you said, just because a book says so, it doesn't make it true. Agreed. But if we have definitively established everything, archaeologically or otherwise, about the subject matter, does it invalidate the claims?
No.
If it doesn't invalidate the claim, on what basis can you dismiss it?
Like I said, if you what you're now doing is that you're now doing the God, because I can't find it, then it must exist then. Because that's what you're now saying. You're saying I make a claim, right? I make a claim there was a murder, right? Can't find the body, can't find the murder weapon, but there may have been some blood somewhere. But because we can't find the body, we can't find the murder weapon, does that invalidate that it could have been a murder? No, there could have been one. But then that doesn't mean there's a murder.
Yeah, exactly. There is
You
a
have to
murder.
find evidence for the murder to claim the murder.
You see, you're absolutely right, but you are just saying exactly what we just said. You see, let's assume taking your argument forward. On what basis? On what basis did we establish it may have been a murder?
Someone claimed it.
Who?
The person who said there was a murder, the
Okay.
apparent
so
witness.
X says there was a murder.
Yeah, X says there was a
So
murder.
we say, okay, did you see it? No. Okay, so how have you established it is a murder? For the purpose of the discussion.
Right, go on.
Yeah? How have you established it to be murder?
Someone told
Because
me.
murder has a definition.
Someone told me.
Yeah, murder is a definition, okay? But simply because a claim has been made, and as of yet that claim has not been verified, does it invalidate the claim?
Like I said to you, no.
Okay, it doesn't. So, on what basis would we reject what he had said?
Based off logic, based off being a court of law. That's how you reject it. You can't go into a court. I said you can't go into a court of law and claim something with no substantiating evidence. You just can't do that in a court of law. And like I said, you have your own. You have to have your own mental court of law. You are judge and jury, so you have to decide: can someone claiming something without the actual evidence to back that claim now say, well, because I claim it, it doesn't invalidate that it could have happened.
But that's not the issue though. Sorry, I'm Shabir, you are? Sara, you see, there's a slight flaw in what you are saying. You see, if you consider it a court of law, okay?
Yes.
And I did point out that a court of law would have rules, okay? And there are also rules of evidence. I'm sure you're aware of that. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If certain evidence fits the criteria, then evidence can be adduced in a court of law. If it doesn't fit, okay, then it is discounted. Now, if I can,
Go on.
yeah, You see, whatever you say, if we are going to consider anything in a court of law, substantive evidence has to be provided. But suppose you have somebody who is accused of murder, using your example, okay? But the evidence is not direct evidence. It is circumstantial evidence.
Right, okay.
Okay? On the basis of circumstantial evidence, can you convict?
In a court of law, you can.
You can. The circumstantial evidence also has rules on what can be adduced and what cannot.
Right.
Yeah? Whether it's hearsay evidence, etc.
Right.
So, on that basis, again, if you are making a claim, as you just said, about, I just overheard Moses, you were discussing.
Moses and Pharaoh,
Yeah, Moses and Pharaoh. Okay? Can you confidently tell me right now that as far as that particular event, in your words, as far as that particular event is concerned, we have all the necessary evidence to formulate a conclusion as to whether it occurred or it did not?
I can confidently tell you that the one thing that the people of the Nile Valley in particular did was document their history, which is why I said you can find a new documentary on something that happened in the Nile Valley, or some pharaoh, some king, some queen, some whoever, every week on the Discovery Channel or any other channel. So hang on. At no point, with all of the archaeology that has been done on the Nile Valley since whenever archaeology started on the Nile Valley started, right? Have you been able to find what you're claiming?
Right.
We have not found it.
Off the top of your head, you are saying they documented everything.
I'm saying to you, the one thing they did well was document their history.
I'm so glad you said
I'm not saying they document everything, but like I said,
sorry, sir.
Let me say bye-bye to my son.
Okay.
Let's set it very clear. If they do go beyond the limits, they're to kill them. Now that one also means.
But like I said, there is a king's list at Abydos in Egypt. The king's list shows every king from the beginning of the Egyptian dynasties to the end. Someone said Pharaoh. Pharaoh. Which one? There is a whole king's list. Point to me and show me which one. You can't even do that. So if you can't even do that, and you're saying Pharaoh, you can't even tell me what Pharaoh, what time period, what are you even talking about? Really and truly, what are you even talking about?
Right, okay, but that's not answering what we were addressing. You see, if you are saying...
You're being disingenuous though. Because if I said the King of England done something, no, if I said the King of England, and we got a king's list in England, right, and we can see every king that existed in England, we can at least say, oh, it was King Arthur the so-and-so. And then we can go to King Arthur when he was around and say, okay, let's investigate what happened at King Arthur's reign around the time. But you're not even doing that.
Right.
You can't even give me the Pharaoh.
Right, we have not even got there yet. But what I'm saying to you...
Okay, let's get there soon.
And Sarah, with the greatest of respect, for you to think what I'm thinking, well, I'll leave it to you to think, okay? But as far as the evidence is concerned, you made a distinction. Because I asked, do we know everything about this? And you said no. And then you tried to qualify it by saying, well, we have got a full list in Abydos of all the kings, yeah? And, well, can you prove even... No, that's not the issue. The issue is...
That is the issue.
1 second. Look, that's your opinion. Let me give you mine. Okay, the issue is this...
You're suspending your logical capability.
Are you going to listen to me?
Go on, I'm going to listen.
No. Okay, I said to you, do we know everything? The answer is no. Well, I would suggest to you, if we do not know everything, does that... Now, this is the crucial one. Does that necessarily mean that it excludes what he was talking about?
I already told you.
One second.
I've already told you.
Well, if the answer is no, at this moment in time, should you not be suspending your judgment on the subject matter?
No. So should you. All right. If I suspend mine, you should suspend yours. You should now say we suspend judgment on that story because there's no evidence.
Actually, I would entirely agree with you. But you see, the problem is this: you never asked. You automatically concluded in your mind.
No, but you believe that story.
One second. It's not about belief, it's about the evidence. Now, I am saying to you...
No, you believe that story though.
1 second. Look, are you asking me or are you telling me?
You're a Muslim, he's a Muslim, you believe that story.
We are Muslims. Are you asking me or are you telling me?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Am I lying?
I'm telling you, I am saying let's look at the evidence.
No, am I lying though?
1 second. Let's look at the evidence for the belief.
Come on.
1 second. You can't impose on what I should think.
Come on, do you believe the story?
One second.
Oh my
like
God.
I said to you, you see, if you are looking at that story in isolation, then you can't talk about it as a belief. You are going to have to look at it on an evidential basis. So I'm saying to you, look, you have agreed, although reluctantly, you have agreed that since we don't know everything, we can't really discount that particular incident.
Right.
So the question therefore arises this: is there a possibility that we may find archaeological evidence which confirms the story? The answer is a yes, and the answer is a no.
Right.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. If that is the case, on what basis have you discounted it?
Like but I've been saying this for the past 10 minutes.
Go on.
You have to put this in to your own mental court of law. I'm asking you to do it.
Okay, let me do it, and I want to
Wait,
respond.
I'm asking you to do it. Everyone does it in day-to-day life.
Yes.
We put evidence into our own mental court of law,
Yes.
and we come up with the answer. We become judge, jury, right? And we come up with our own answer, right? So, like I just said to you, if there's, and the thing, we're just gonna go over the same stuff. If I said to you that there was a murder on Hyde Park, right? Oh, sorry, in Park Lane, right? A book saying that there was a murder in Park Lane is not evidence for there being a murder on Park Lane. But you're now saying, because we cannot find, because we haven't swept the whole of maybe Park Lane, right? Is it possible we could find it? Yeah? And I'm saying, yes, it's possible. Okay? So hang on. So until you find the evidence, then you can make the claim. You can't make the claim before the evidence is found.
Right, 1 second.
Can you? Can you make the claim before the evidence is found?
I can respectfully see where you are suddenly losing it. Okay? You have made a comparison between an event that is recorded and a situation about a murder. Okay. What's the difference between the two?
Between an event that was recorded.
Between the event that is recorded and this event that you think occurred.
Which one?
The murder one.
No, I said, you already said the murder occurred because someone said they saw it.
No. You used it as an example and I followed it through. I said, okay, how would you do it? Now you first talked about a court of law and we established that, well, actually that doesn't really work, the example. But then you, if I can just finish, then you said, let's go to a mental court of law, and you asked me to do that. So I'm saying, actually I am doing that. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, if I don't know about a subject matter, everything there is to know about a subject matter, on what confident basis can I reject it?
Okay.
Because, if I can just finish. Because you see, at the end of the day, many claims are made.
Right.
Whether they are verifiable or not is a question of evidence.
So is it verified
finish.
now?
I am suggesting to you that if it is not verified, can you exclude it? You said no. So I'm saying again to you, you see, Sara, although you thought...
The thing is, now, you're asking... No.
I appreciate you're getting emotional now. Calm down. Listen, I said to you, Sarah, and I will tell you again. Yeah? Sorry, Sara. Yeah? It is simple. If you have accepted...
Really not simple.
I know you are confused about it, but let me try. Yeah? If you can confidently tell me, look, if we don't have all the available evidence about a certain event, then we cannot judge it either way. We agree.
Listen, no, it's not that simple.
Have you changed it?
No, it's not that simple. Because you're claiming an event with no evidence.
Can I finish?
First of all,
can I finish?
No, hang on. You're claiming an event.
Not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
You're claiming Pharaoh and Moses with no evidence.
Sarah, again,
with no evidence.
I am saying to you again.
It's not the other way around. That's what people try to do. They try to say, oh, you can't disclaim it. No, my friend, you claimed it first. So if you're claiming it first, if the book claims it first, you have to prove it happened first. You don't come to me and say, oh, can you disprove it? No, that's not. That is not how it works in the court of law.
That is how it works.
No, it's not how it works because you made the claim.
Right, actually.
So if you make the claim, back up the claim. If you can't back up the claim and you don't have evidence for it, then we dispel it.
Right, 1 second.
We dispel it. Done. Finish.
Do you allow us to speak? Right, I'm glad. You see, because again, you can repeat what you said. It's like a mantra, but it doesn't make it true. Let me tell you something. There you go again. Are you going to listen to us?
No,
right?
because you're being disingenuous. Because you know you can't make a claim without backing it up.
I am telling you, look, if the claim is being made, it's an issue. But if the event is a historical event, okay, and the evidence that is required to either dismiss it or to accept it as a historical event, you would need the necessary evidence.
There's no...
One second, brother.
Oh my God.
This brother actually pointed it out to you. It was quite logical.
You're using circular logic now.
My friend, whatever you want to think,
You're
you are
using
entitled
circular
to
logic.
it. But what I would suggest...
And the thing is, you know you are. That's the thing. That's what's very funny. You actually know you're using circular logic and you're doing it being disingenuous. That's what's very interesting to me.
Sarah, you are coming across as
You know what I mean? Like, he's actually doing it.
Sarah, you are coming across as someone who is fearing something for nothing.
I'm not fearing anything.
I'm glad, so keep quiet and listen to me.
All right, go
as
on.
I have listened to you. Okay? You see, if there is a historical event which is not in your immediate vicinity, yeah, in terms of thought or the mental court of law, okay, then you have to look at the evidence to establish whether there is any truth element to that particular claim according to your wording. Yeah? But if the event is far removed, as he was trying to point out to you, do you believe in Adam and Eve? Well, how do we know they existed? What evidence do we have? Well,
Yeah, what evidence do you have?
one second. We can do a lot like that. I mean, we can go back to the idea of the first man or the first community. Was he black? Was he white? Was he brown?
He was black.
No, I didn't ask you. I'm just making a
Okay.
point. Okay?
Just letting you know, though.
Now you see, we can do that, okay? Whatever it is, if it is something far removed, then unless and until you have the necessary evidence to be able to conclusively establish whether it occurred or it did not occur, then the reasonable thing to do as a logical individual is to hold judgment until you have found the necessary evidence. Now, the error that you have made is by trying to superimpose a court of law situation when it really doesn't fit. Why it doesn't fit is simple. If it is a far removed issue, okay, even if you tried with a strain of the imagination and brought it into a court of law, okay, that very evidence would not be direct evidence, okay? If you take archaeological evidence, archaeologists themselves will tell you there are many things that they will agree and there are many things they will disagree on. The problem here is this, that if you have a stated agenda and you want to try and fit the facts for that agenda, that is what you are doing.
No, that's what you're doing. That is what you're doing.
Matter of opinion.
No, that's what you're doing. Because hang on. Nowhere in Egypt. Let me just go back to the place where you say it happened. Like I said, if it's your house, say it's your house that this thing apparently happened, right? Nowhere in Egypt is this story mentioned. The story that you're claiming. So we're going to the place where it apparently happened, and there's no story of it. There's no evidence of it. It's not part of their history. There's no king that claimed the same thing. We go to you now, and you have a story that says, yeah, we were in Egypt, or these people were in Egypt, and this is what happened. So who do we have? So we go to you, you just have a claim, and we go to the actual people who don't even acknowledge you exist. They don't even know you. So there's no evidence of you. There's no history of you. There's nothing. So what are you talking about?
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you even saying?
Look, your logic seems reasonable.
No, it is reasonable.
Yeah.
No, you can't say it seems reasonable. It is reasonable, and
I'm
you know
entitled
it.
in opinion. It seems reasonable.
My friend,
but
if it takes a lot of time to find it,
Sara.
right, then until it's found, shut up.
Sara,
You can't even say it. Shut your mouth until you find it.
You know what? You are absolutely right. You should be shutting up because
No, you should be.
One second. You don't have all the evidence, and that's the point I'm making. Okay. Listen to me again.
Do you have all the evidence?
Listen to me again. I made my position.
No,
very
do you have all the
clear.
evidence?
I made my position very clear. I said, if you are talking about a far removed event and we don't have all the evidence as yet, then suspend judgment on it.
So do you have it?
I just said no. Suspend.
You don't have it. So then why? So then why? So hang on. So then, if you don't have it, why are you telling people, you, in your book, that this actually happened then?
I'm so glad. You see,
Why, if you don't have the evidence?
I told you. You see, you missed the point again, and I'll repeat it very slow. I know it is difficult, isn't it, to understand? But anyway, I said, look, if there is an event far removed, okay, so is it a historical event? The answer is yes. We are discussing over what your claim is, and let me take you up on this.
No, we're not.
Can you
Don't.
just-
No, we're not. No. I'm not going to allow. No, listen, I'll tell you what's not going to happen here.
Finish.
No. I'll tell you what's not going to happen
Let me
here.
finish
You're not going to try and flip it on
making
me.
my
You're
point.
not going to. No, listen.
Sara,
You're not going to do that because I'm too smart for that. I'm too smart for that. You're not going to try and flip it on me.
Sara.
You made the claim. I'm too smart for for that. You can't try and bring it to me and say, oh, the evidence is on me. It's on you. No, it's on you.
Sarah, you see.
And you know it's on you.
Sarah, you see. If you took the time out to listen, maybe
you can be eloquent, but you can eloquently say nonsense. You do understand that, right?
I agree. I can hear you.
Right. Okay.
But let's put it this way, Sarah. I'm saying to you, it's so simple to understand. Okay, you are making the claim. What is?
No, you're making the claim. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. Stop being disingenuous.
Yeah, but you make the allegation.
No, let's stop this.
You made the
Disingenuous.
allegation.
No, stop being disingenuous, man. No, you made the claim. Your book made the claim.
So are you saying it's wrong?
Your book made the claim. I didn't make the claim. I'm countering your claim with show me the evidence.
Sarah, can I finish?
No, because you're lying now, and I'm not going to allow that.
Now it's even worse. You are accusing me of
You're
something I
lying.
haven't
Yes,
said yet.
no. You lied and said
Sarah.
I made the claim.
Sarah.
I didn't make the claim. Your book made the claim, and that's what me and this guy were talking about.
Sarah.
The book made the claim. So can we switch it now and understand that who made the claim first?
Sarah.
No, who made the claim first?
Sarah.
No, who made the claim first?
He found peace.
Yeah, but
No, who made the claim first?
I made it. Okay, but
Did
you
your book? Okay.
You
But you made the claim via what?
Sarah.
Via your book, yeah? Via the Quran. Okay, so the Quran made the claim first.
Sarah, right.
We've established that. Don't try and flip it.
Okay. Can I talk now? Okay.
If you're not going to lie.
Yeah. Thankfully, I don't need to. Yes? Let's put it this way. I'm saying you made the claim.
No. But I'm not going to accept the lie though. Why are you asking me to accept this lie?
Hypothetical.
All right, go on.
It's not even hypothetical because the claim I'm going to talk about has nothing to do with this claim. But anyway, it's okay.
What's the
You see,
claim?
Sarah,
What's the claim that I made?
This way.
You know, Sarah, I've had many conversations. Respectfully, you shut down many minutes ago. But I will carry on anyway. Persevere for the sake of him. Yeah? It was simple. You made a claim about a whole list of kings. It's a claim that you have made. Because we, at this moment in time right now, cannot verify it. Okay? So I would suggest that your claim is bogus.
Okay.
Because I cannot verify it. Logic doesn't work like that. Reason doesn't work like that. Yes, subjectivity, a notion that you knew it is a different matter. But I'm saying to you, at this point in time, we can't verify them. Even if you turned up now and gave me a full list, I would say, okay, how do I verify that is true? How do I do it?
What is his name?
Am I speaking?
I'm asking.
Okay. The reason why I made the claim about the list was because of another claim. Do you understand that? No, I'm asking, do you understand it?
Answer my question.
No.
How do I verify
No, wait.
I'm not going to wait. Now you are on the spot. Tell me how to verify it.
Listen.
I've listened enough to you.
This is what you're not going to, I'm telling you what you're not going to do. You're not going to try and bamboozle the situation. If I made a claim, I'm too smart for this. If I made a claim, I made a claim because of someone else making a claim. I wasn't the first one to come to this guy and say, there's a king's list at Abydos. I never just came to him and said that. He made the claim about Pharaoh and Moses. My counter to that claim was, there's a king's list at Abydos. So let's deal with the actual claim and then let's go to the counter claim.
Okay, I'm so glad when I was pulled in, okay, you were having a discussion with him. Now, you are saying he made the claim.
No, your Quran made the claim.
1 second.
He was talking about the Quran, but the Quran made the claim.
So now you have gone there. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But I'm saying to you, you asked me. And I said, wait a minute.
He brought you in, you know. I never brought you in here.
Excuse me, Sarah.
Hang on, I never brought you in here. He brought you in.
Are you not trying to divert the subject?
No, I'm saying
so glad.
he brought you
Listen,
in.
I said to you, when you asked me directly about the Quran's claim, I said, look, it's a historical event, okay? And unless and until you have all the necessary evidence available to be able to establish whether this event occurred or not, you would have to hold your judgment on it. In consequence,
Do you hold your
1
judgment
second,
on it
I'm
also?
holding it. Now, I'm going to ask
you hold your judgment
I'm
on the
holding my
Moses story?
judgment. I'm holding my judgment.
On the Moses story,
1
you
second,
hold it?
on the Moses story, I'm holding my judgment. But now
So you don't believe it?
do you see? What's belief got to do with whether you are holding something to be true or not? You are confused. Now,
No, hang on, whoa.
Let me finish.
Listen, this way then. No, this way you did. That doesn't make sense.
Sarah,
Hey,
okay,
no, it doesn't.
let me
Doesn't
explain
make sense.
to you.
No, it doesn't.
Wait.
If you're withholding your judgment on, no, listen. If you're withholding your judgment, no, I'm not withholding anything. Listen, I'm not stupid, you know. If you're withholding your, no, listen. If you're withholding your judgment on something, if I withhold my judgment on a murder, I'm withholding. I don't know whether it happened. I'm not going to go and preach that this murder actually happened,
Right.
because I'm withholding judgment on it.
No.
But what you're doing is you're saying you withhold your judgment on the Moses story, yet and still you are going around telling people that this story actually happened in the Quran.
Okay.
Don't lie now.
No, can I respond to you?
Stop lying.
I'm so glad you finally really got there. Let me respond to you. You see, thank you. Yeah, I'm here. When you are talking about reserving judgment, it is not a truth claim. Do you understand that?
Say that again. When you are
When you are reserving judgment on something, it is not a truth claim you are making. A truth claim will only come after the evidence has been assessed, established, and possibly dismissed. Now, in consequence, I said to you, wait a minute, you have told me that the claim you are making
is a counterclaim.
1 second, is about this list in Abydos. And
Which is a counterclaim.
I said to you, it can be a counterclaim if you want to wish it to be now, no problem. But
It was always a counterclaim.
okay, Sarah.
Don't say that everything should be now.
I'll agree.
You're trying to be smart. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not
stick
trying
to
to be.
stick to the script.
Sarah, let me finish. I said, okay, even if you give me the list now, and you give me a list of 10,
Right.
I said to you, okay, this one, how do I verify this is true?
Like I said to you before, in a court of law, when there's a claim being made, the judge hears the claim. Your Honor, Your Honor, this is the claim. The other defendant says, oh, I have a counterclaim. Your Honor, I have a counterclaim against that claim. We have to hear the claim first before we hear the counterclaim. Mine was a counterclaim. We have to establish your claim first, and your claim hasn't been established, which is why I made the counterclaim. So unless we establish your claim,
Two things. Okay.
let's establish your claim.
Right.
Let's establish the claim of the Quran
Two things.
first.
Two things. Number one, as far as the let me speak. As far as the court of law is concerned, you have actually confused the civil and criminal element, and that is why you are misunderstanding what you are saying. But going to what you said, I said, okay, as far as the event historically is concerned in the Quran, I'm holding judgment on it until.
But that's a lie, though.
1 second. Wait a minute.
No, but that's actually a lie.
1 second.
You're standing here lying.
1 second.
You don't withhold judgment on the Moses story in the
Did I
Quran.
interject when you spoke?
You don't. No, because I'm not going to allow you to stand here and lie
But I'm
for
not-
the sake of argument. You're trying to lie for the sake of argument. You can't lie for the sake of argument. No, but he's lying for the sake of argument. You can't lie for the sake of argument.
to finish, and then you're done.
Thank you.
Vice versa.
Yeah? You see, if it is a claim that is being made, now listen to me, on the basis of it being rejected because it was merely a claim and no evidence had been preferred, okay, you have actually made it exactly what I am saying. That if the claim has been made and in a court of law you provide evidence, okay, or you go into a court of law and say, well, the claim is being made, as yet we do not have the evidence. The court of law will say, look, I'm sorry, when you do have the evidence, come back.
Right.
Okay. Let me finish.
Right.
Let me finish.
Right.
Okay. Now, here is the problem. I am saying to you, okay, let's hold judgment on the basis of the reasoning you applied, that we don't have evidence for it. Okay? Apart from what the Quran says. I in return am saying, okay, wait a minute. If your logic is applied like that, I would suggest to you that if you now say, look, why am I rejecting this? It is because I have got evidence which doesn't mention anything about this claim. And on that basis, I'm rejecting it. I am saying to you, okay, I'll take your elementary reasoning here forward and ask you this. Okay, so you provide me your evidence now. This evidence that you provided me, at least in Abydos, okay, if I take the top one and ask you, okay, prove to me this existed, would you be able to do it? Yes or no?
It's not that simple.
Thank you.
It's actually not that simple.
Thank you.
Okay, so should
I agree with you.
Shall we continue?
No, wait a minute. When you said it's not that simple, is it a yes or a no?
Shall we? It's not that simple.
Why is it not a yes or a no?
I'm going to explain to you.
Go on.
Right. So, first of all, listen to what you just said. You said you're withholding judgment, and that's a lie. Because you don't withhold judgment on the Moses story. You actually, just like the guy that was here, you say the Quran is evidence. Yes or no? Okay. Of everything in it.
Okay, yes.
Yes. So you're not withholding judgment, are you? You're actually deciding.
Are you asking? Let me tell you.
Are you deciding the Quran being evidence for everything?
I am deciding the Quran being evidence for anything that is contained within the Quran.
Okay.
Now,
no, that's all I went here. No, I wasn't finished. That's all I went here. So you've decided that the Quran is evidence for everything that the Quran actually says in it.
Correct.
Same thing the gentleman said, right? So you, for the sake of this argument, have said on many times you are withholding judgment on the Moses story in the Quran, which was a lie, because you don't withhold it, because you actually believe it as evidence. So you're not withholding judgment. So I don't understand the reason why you would actually make that argument, knowing it's no, I'm not finished yet, knowing that it's a lie. So you've been here for the past 10 minutes lying for the sake of argument, right?
Wrong.
No, you have been. So you've been here lying, and then you tried to make an argument around the actual lie, is what you've actually tried to do. No, you tried to, that's what you have done. So like I said to you before, you can eloquently say nonsense, and that's what you've been doing. So I'm telling you, I'm too smart for that. I just broke down what you've just been doing. You've been lying here for the past 10 minutes. So when you make the claim of that evidence, being the Moses story and the Pharaoh and all that kind of stuff, right? I'm telling you, if you say that happened, that's what you say, that happened. You don't say, oh, we withhold judgment of it happening. You say that happened. We go to Pharaoh, we go to Egypt, we go to the Nile Valley, and we don't see any evidence of that happening. So whose now are we to believe?
Okay. Can I respond?
Respond.
Thank you. Okay. Number one, you accuse me of being a liar.
You did it yourself.
One second. You accuse me of being a liar. You accuse me of X, Y, and Z, but I will tell you something. You see, if you have not bothered to actually understand what the Quran has to say, I don't blame you for coming to the conclusion you did. You see, if I were to tell you there is a story in the Quran about Moses, there is a story in the Quran about Sheba, there is a story about Solomon, okay? Does the Quran in which it is contained, does it also tell you whether you should go out there and establish the veracity of the contents of the Quran, yes or no?
Apparently it says seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave or something like that,
I said the Quran.
Oh, is that in the
What
hadith?
does it say?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, so I understand why you thought I was a liar. But you see, the Quran
lied.
one second. The Quran actually tells us, okay, go and seek the necessary information. Okay, now here's a question. If it is telling me to seek the information to verify what is contained within the Quran, does that include the Moses story? Yes or no? Okay. Now, you see,
every story.
One second. You see, I didn't lie. Number two, it's your...
You did lie.
One second. I know. Let me finish.
Lie.
Okay? You see, the Quran actually tells us to verify things. So if I'm going to read something in the Quran, one second. If I read something in the Quran which at the moment has not been verified, then it is my duty to go and find the necessary information to verify it. One second. I just said I'm holding judgment, so it hasn't yet.
But you're lying. It's a contradiction of terms.
No, it is. My friend, let me finish. You are wishing, but let's follow. You see, you don't understand. One second, brother. You don't understand. You don't understand how you are actually applying reason to this. Okay? So I said to you, look, the Quran actually makes the claim. It also says very clearly that you will search on the horizon and within yourselves until it is manifest to you this is the truth. Now listen carefully. What will we do? We will search out, we will research. Now I said it very plainly, which for some reason it went above you, when I said to you, okay, if the truth claim is being made about an event in history, then logic dictates that if we have not found all the necessary evidence to either discount or accept, then the reasonable thing to do is to hold judgment, hold judgment until you do find it. Now, as a consequence, listen, I know you are going to find it very hard to accept, but the Quran verifies what I am saying. The Quran actually tells us very clearly, do the necessary research, and find the evidence. Okay, now, question. If I am telling you, look, the Quran reasonably tells us how we should approach the subject matter, number one, although you accusing me of lying is entirely your opinion, but I can reasonably assert as a Muslim here that, hey, there's no problem. If I am holding judgment on whether the event mentioned is true or not, there's no problem because I'm going to base it on the evidence available. Now, in contrast to that, I said to you, okay, the list of Abydos, how do I prove that that is true? You said it's a bit more complicated than that. Well, actually, no, it isn't. You made a claim, now you are lying that it is not clear.
No,
exactly. One second. I'm finishing.
All right, right.
The truth of the matter is, you are confused about the subject.
Yeah, all right.
Respectfully, you are confused about the subject matter in relation to the Quran.
Right.
I've just clarified that. So now, I want a clarification from you. On that list in Abydos, how do I prove it is verifiable?
Okay, let's go. You know, using your logic, if we're using logic now, it is not possible to withhold judgment and also claim something to be a fact. It's not possible. You are claiming the Quran to be a fact, yes? And you are also holding judgment on the story. It's not possible. The two cannot exist in the same sphere. So that's how I know you're the confused one, you know? If I say, Your Honor, I'm withholding judgment on this murder, but I believe the murder exists, or I believe the murder happened, that's a total contradiction of terms. You are saying you're withholding judgment, and you're also saying the Quran is a fact. You can't do the same too. That's why I know you're standing here lying to me. That's how I know. You respond.
Okay, excellent. I'm so glad you said that. You see, you have actually highlighted where you got confused a bit, but I'll tell you why. You see, when you are talking about the Quran, again, and I mean this sincerely, you just said you can't hold two thoughts at the same time.
That's not what I said. I said you can't withhold judgment on something and also claim it to be a fact.
Two thoughts.
At the same time.
Two thoughts. Okay, let me take your words verbatim. You can't what? What did you say? You cannot. You cannot. No, I'm saying. You repeat to me.
You can't say you withhold judgment on something.
Yeah,
and then claim it to be a fact.
Okay. Now, are you restricting the whole of the Quran only to the event of Moses?
No.
Okay. So, in totality of the Quran, does it permit us to do that?
Say again?
In the totality of the Quran, does it permit us to do that? What I just said, that look, I can withhold until I find the necessary evidence.
I don't know, does it?
You don't know?
I don't know, does it?
Right, one second.
Does it?
1 second. You see, Sara, as I said earlier on, confusion is very easy if you do not understand or bother to understand what the contents are of the very thing you are accusing.
Okay, so
now,
does it?
I already said to you, it tells you that. Okay,
is that possible,
1 second.
logically?
Of course it is, and I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how, Sara, how it's so logical, and I don't know how you miss it. Look, as an example, yeah? Brother here, okay, has got a Ferrari. Yeah?
He's got a Ferrari. Okay.
He's got a Ferrari, okay? It's a claim being made by him.
No, we never. You just said
Just 1 second, I'm giving you an example. I just said an example.
Okay, so
I
he said he's got a
understand.
Ferrari.
He's got a Ferrari.
Okay.
Okay? I said to this brother, I hope you don't mind me using it as an example. Did you know he's got a Ferrari? And he says to me, have you seen it? No. He told me, so I believe him. Logical? It is, isn't it? Should I accept what he said? Excellent. Now, you see, I am saying to you exactly that. That look, if you are not aware totally, you can be a believer and just accept it because somebody said so, or you can do what the Quran has requested believers or anybody else who is reading it do. 1 second. It tells you very clearly, okay, X, Y, Z occurred. Yeah? It tells you, look, seek out, go out there and find the necessary evidence to do what? To verify the truth of the contents of the book.
Have you verified the truth of the contents of the book?
1 second. Yeah? Now, you see, if I take the story of Moses in isolation, okay, then I get confused a bit, like you have respectfully. But if I take the book in totality and And if the book actually allows you to do that, and it is very logical. You see, if I come across something and I haven't found all the evidence for it, I don't make a judgment on it. I say, right, let's find out a bit more. In fact, the whole of the scientific edifice is built on that. That look, you have found something, let's do further research to establish whether it is true or not. Let's do further research, and so on and so forth. So, my friend Sara, I appreciate your try, but at the end of the day, I would ask you to reconsider the way you are thinking.
That's not where it ends. That's not where. I'm not going to let you get away with it like that. That's not where it ends. You didn't even answer it. Do you know, you just said, I said you can eloquently say nonsense, and what you've been doing this whole conversation is eloquently saying nonsense, my friend. And I'm telling you, you cannot, and it cannot be done. You cannot say you withhold judgment. Hang on. You cannot withhold judgment, right? And you cannot say something is a fact at the same time. Now, you say everything in the Quran is a fact, yes, as a Muslim, yes? Yes. So then how can you now say you withhold judgment on the Moses story? That is a contradiction. You're saying you have to go out and seek it, right? To verify the story. Problem for you, because the story hasn't been verified. The only place it's been verified is within the Quran. It hasn't actually been verified outside of it. So you're saying you want to go outside the book to verify it. It hasn't even been verified, but yet and still you preach the Quran as a fact. So what are you doing? Okay. You're just lying.
Can I respond?
Come on.
Sara, I appreciate it.
You're standing here lying.
Sara, let me again, in a nutshell. Sara,
when someone lies to you, it's an emotional thing.
Let me tell you in
just standing here lying, trying to be
Let me
smart.
tell you in a nutshell.
There's no logic there. You don't even understand it. That's what's funny. You don't even understand it. You don't understand what you're saying. None of you here actually understand what you're saying. But you're gonna stay with him like he does.
Let me say something to you. Just a minute. The Quran.
Okay, Sara. Let me just.
No, I am half started. You are always speaking. Look, my brother, the Quran is binding to the Muslims.
Yes.
I am a Muslim.
Yes.
Moses, according to the Quran, was in Egypt.
Yeah.
I believe it. Whether it has been proved historically
or not. Thank you for being honest.
For you,
Thank you for being honest.
are talking about something academic outside the Quran.
Right.
It is something historical.
Right.
Just like the
So
Kaaba.
it's about a belief then?
Like the Kaaba. According to the Jews,
That's
the
what you
Kaaba
call honesty.
was
You're just
built,
standing here lying.
the Kaaba was built by Abraham in Palestine, not in Mecca.
Right.
So,
and you believe that, yes?
So, I believe it in Mecca.
Wherever. But you believe
Yes,
it?
of course.
Okay. So that's
Do you agree with it?
No, but that's
You just said yes, yes, you are telling the truth.
do you know what I agree with? Do you know what I agree with? I agree with the fact that he said it's a belief, and he understands it's a belief to the Muslims, right? It can't be verified outside of the belief system.
Right, now can I go in and
That's what I agree with. But you don't do that. You've been lying here.
Because it suits the way you think. But let me tell you
He's
something.
a Muslim. He told you. That's your Muslim brother, right? Go and speak to him.
He's entitled to his opinion. But I'll tell you in a nutshell what I'm saying. You see, you are so convinced that you can't hold the idea as opposed to the thought. Okay? Now, I'll tell you what.
You're talking so much nonsense.
I know.
Seriously.
I'll tell you in a nutshell.
Wrap it up in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
In a nutshell.
Let people judge who's
In a nutshell, Sara, you see,
Let the people judge.
you have made the admission that if I refer to your evidence, you don't have an answer that is yes or no. You said it's a bit more complicated. I said to you, did you know the Quran says this? You said, well, no, I don't know. Respectfully, that means you are clueless about the contents of the Quran, and you try to insinuate at least that, look, only this event let's restrict it to. And I said to you, no, don't look at it that way. This is what the Quran says about verifying the contents of the Quran. So now when you look at the story of Moses in Egypt, you mentioned this listing in Abydos. I said to you X, you said no, cannot be done. So I said to you this, if the Quran in totality is telling you it's talking about historical events, and you do not have all the available evidence,
Then just believe the Quran.
One second. Available evidence to verify that particular incident.
Just believe the Quran.
One second. No.
That's what you're saying.
1 second. Can I say what I want to say?
You take so long to go around to just say something.
That's why you're confused. You shorten it too much. Right. Listen. I said to you, if the Quran is verifying it, okay, then you seek the evidence to verify it. Now, listen to this carefully.
Have you done it?
If I'm just telling you.
But have you done it?
I'm telling you. I'm doing it and I'm holding judgment about that incident.
You're a liar.
Oh well, it's up to you to decide.
You're actually a liar.
You can say that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that when it comes to
You eloquently lie, but it's still a lie.
when it comes to a logical, coherent argument, you fail. Okay? But I said to you, look, study it a bit more. I appreciate you like coming here and discussing, but at least study the source that you are trying to reject. In other words, if you talked about the Quran, don't restrict it only to Moses. Read the Quran and see what it actually says about how to hold views about certain historical elements or events that are talked about in the Quran. Now, if I came across to you as untoward, please do forgive me. That was not the intention, and I forgive you likewise. But that's entirely up to you.
No, it's fine.
People judge. You don't want to even shake hands?
No. Because you actually intentionally lied.
So I see. You are going to also possibly hold that thought like you.
I don't like liars.
If I can just finish.
I just don't like liars.
You told one of the other guys, "I'm your daddy,"
I am.
and you listen to daddy.
That's right.
Well,
that is correct.
Good luck. Well, can I shake your hand then? Thank you very much. God bless.
To see more videos like this, subscribe to Titans TV down below. Thanks.
The question is this, Muhammad is your role model or mankind's role model? He's not just another role model. He's the main moral model of mankind according to Islam. For Christians, Jesus Christ is the main role model for mankind. So we follow his examples, we follow his footsteps. You as a Muslim will follow the life or the teachings of Muhammad, or the Sunnah.
We've given you so much time to speak. You have dilly-dallied about. You haven't got to the point. You've already now admitted that Jesus is God by accepting the fact that he claimed to be God.
The black god waiting to attack as soon as the queen says march. I'm the reincarnation and the resurrection of a star.